probably would be one of the first orders of business tonight at the General Assembly. It's basically where we're at, and I'm relying on what you told me before, and I understand that if we apply for a permit, we'll be able to have tents and structure.
Well, I think there's certainly a dialogue about how that occurs and what that would look like specifically that we would need to have. That would be termed as something of a political encampment. We'd have to have clear health and safety rules and things of that sort that we need to dialogue about and figure out. But there's certainly, we certainly do issue tent permits for structures on the Capitol campus. It's fairly routine, especially multi-day ones. And so it's not something that's out of the range of the world, of the planet, of the universe, or anything like that. It's a very simple process, actually. So that's, we're on page on that still, so that's good. So I'm hoping
to let you know you're dealing with a bunch of people where health and safety is
top priority.
Yeah, that's why we're here. That's why everyone's health and safety. That's why we're all here.
Yeah, and I think it's fantastic so far, and I'd like this to stay kind of as the status quo as it is right now, before anything new goes up or is erected, until we can have further discussion and your group can make decisions and know what all the ramifications are, and any discussion needs to occur for anything else to erect. I really, I've already had discussions about this first aid tent and how valuable that is for the entire group, and that I think is a safety measure. And I think that's something that should stay for you guys, is stay here even without a permit for now. I think that's a reasonable kind of thing that sounds good. Well, that one is a little bit different. That one's not necessarily as vital as the first aid tent. So I mean, right now I think until the park closes, it's later on today, which it's not going to close obviously if you guys are here, because you guys can stay here. That's fine with me. It's fine with us. It's fine with everybody. But really, the tents are the real issue, because without the permit, the tents become the problem. So.
Well, if someone was starving, then the food tent would be kind of a health issue as well,
Absolutely. Yeah, well, that's true, and that's something that I think that further discussion can probably occur along. But right now, until dusk arrives and after you guys have your meeting, this is all the status quo. That it'd be nice to keep it this way. I don't anything else erected in here that it might become a different situation, such as more tents or things like that. Until after you have a good, healthy discussion amongst yourselves.
We're going to have a good, healthy discussion, and I'm just trying to taking all mental notes so that I can, at least when it's my turn to talk, bring concerns and I'm trying to make sure that I bring all the information that you're giving, that you're, and I'm just joking right now, to preface that. Status quo. Keep using that term, because it ain't what we're about.
I won't use. You're right. I won't. I guess what I'm trying to say is that
I'm kidding. I was hoping to make you laugh.
It's good. I like to laugh, but I think that I'd be concerned if there are more structures that begin to be erected, and the group hasn't had time to consider what could be possibly the ramifications from that. I think you need to really think about that. Right now, I'm saying, what you have now out here, whatever you want to call it, let's just leave it there for now.
But I tell you, I'm looking around. I don't see any other structures at this time being erected, so I don't think at this point, until we have our General Assembly tonight, I don't think we have to worry about that.
Are you saying tents?
Well, I'm saying canopies, tents, particularly camping tents are a huge problem. But the definition, you have to have a structure on campus of any type. Really, there's a permit that's required for that type of activity. It's very easily filled out online. There's a 2-day waiting period for it. It's a very easy process. I'm one of the administrators that actually oversees that process. We recently, I don't know if many of you saw it or not, but over in Heritage Park, I issued a permit for a 5-day activity over there, where they had structures out there for multiple days. The longest we can issue a permit is for 14 days at a time per sponsor. So you can have a structure out here in this park if you want to, as long as you just follow some very basic guidelines, because we want to assist you. We want to assist you.
After 14 days,
yes. Do another. Well, it would have to be a separate sponsor and things of that sort, so it can't be the same exact person. And I'm more than happy to hand my card out to whoever would like it.
In absence of us having a permit, if tents and other structures were to go up, what would a likely response be?
Well, I can tell you, and this is Sergeant Kevin Bell, he's going to be in charge tonight for the state control. Right now, there's no camping allowed in the park. I mean, that's the rule.
That's established. On the sign, there's no camping around.
Yes, good.
Okay. But so if there were camping, hypothetically, what could we expect as a response? Like, would fines or an arrest, or like what? I guess just what type of risk is
Or would
there?
you remove tents
Yeah.
physically if people were unwilling to take their own tents down?
Here's the thing. We really want everybody to work together.
Yeah.
You know, and if, for the lack of a better term, you guys take care of each other.
Yes.
You know, that would be great.
That's what we're doing.
We're here for safety. You know,
We thank you for that.
yeah, absolutely. And we encourage you guys to be able to use your right to, do a sit-in or be here.
Peaceably
'Cause, you know
assemble.
what? Absolutely.
It's just that
Because this is the people's park. So that's why Tony and I are here. We want to work with you
This
guys.
is the People's Park! You heard him.
We want to work with you guys so that you guys, for lack of a better term, you may not like, but kind of police your own, because we don't want to have these issues. We really don't. But so we just want to work with you guys. Did Tony just kind of share the rules and law with that? Okay. So bottom line, just look out for each other. Do you see what I'm saying?
I think that everybody here, no one here wants to see anything, any type of action that would be ungood for anybody. I think that's the thing we don't want. We don't want there to be any type of police action. We don't want anything like that to occur. I'm sure that we all want a reasonable solution to you guys being here and expressing your full rights to free speech. And I think that's really important for all of us. So,
Can we express it if we're asking permission to stay?
well, it'd be great. I mean, I'd be happy to. There's a written form to fill out for actual formal
What do we need
permission.
permission to occupy?
Well, you need it for your structures. I mean, you can stay here all night, all you want to. You can stay here for the next 10 days without a shelter.
But
Is it
for as
14
long as
days?
you want.
Is it working days? Monday
No,
through
there's no
Friday?
restrictions.
No
If you don't have a
restrictions, 14
permit,
straight days.
if you don't have a permit, you don't have any structures out, then you can stay here for whatever it is you're going to
The question I wanted to ask is, I thought you said 14 days to me. Is that correct?
That's when you fill out a form for a
The
permit.
next question is at day 12, should we fill out another one for the next 14 days?
With a new
It's
sponsor.
online.
Yeah.
With a new sponsor?
Separate sponsor.
Separate
Yes.
sponsor.
This all needs to be talked about at the General Assembly tonight, and we have a lot of information from Tony. Your card, Tony. Your card. And
Thanks, Tony. Sounds real workable.
Well, I'd love to make it real workable, and I think it can be, and I'm happy to give out my cards too for anybody who wants further information.
Sure. Actually, what we have going on right now is, unfortunately, these times the business owner is unable to keep his business open, so he came in today and let his employees know that he is no longer going to be able to employ them, and they are upset, and they're demonstrating that right now, and that's where we're at this point.
Okay, so these protesters are actually business
They were the employees.
Okay.